What's up, all? This is Saratoga Slim for racingdudes.com, and this is my first video. I'm giving y'all the Kentucky Derby rundown, my lessons learned from one of the craziest derbies, Kentucky Derby 148, with the biggest upset since 1913, an 80-1 shot. Rich Strike won, as you all know, but what you don't know, what are the lessons learned that we are going to talk about tonight? We had a great time during the live stream. 63,000 people watched the live stream with myself and Curtis Magic Kalleward of the Racing Dudes. It was a great time. 10,000 views for my pace thesis video. So I want to thank everyone that has been tuning in to our Kentucky Derby coverage and my videos that I've been doing. So this one goes out to, sponsored by Calumet Farm, the one and only Keen Ice, sire of a Kentucky Derby winner. This is my boy Keen Ice. Took this picture of him back in the day, back in like 2016 after he won the Travers up here. So this one goes out to Keen Ice. We talked a lot about Rich Strike during the live stream. I'm hoping that Magic's able to clip in some of the things that I said, that Rich Strike was going to win us all Teslas. Well, I didn't bet Rich Strike on top, so that's going to be one of the things that we talk about during this video. So let me get right into it and start talking about the lessons learned. So number one lesson learned, right? 80-1 shot wins, and I didn't have any win money on this horse. I liked this horse. I sent out a tweet during the afternoon on Saturday to add this horse to your tickets in the third and fourth spot. I think it was the only handicapper that said that. Only handicapper that said this horse would win you a Tesla. It didn't win me a Tesla. So what did I learn? Bet across the board. When you like a horse that is over 20-1 and that you think can hit the board, play it across the board. And that means a win, place, and show bet. So if you make a $2 win, place, show bet across the board, it's going to cost you $6. For $6, I would have returned over $200 and something for this horse. So I don't know why I didn't do that. If I liked this horse and was tweeting about it, a major lesson learned. And this is for any race, not just a Kentucky Derby. One thing that I learned early in my betting career is that if you like a horse that's over 10-1, bet win place money on that horse. And if you like a horse that's over 20-1, then bet win place show money on that horse. And that's if you just think that horse is going to hit the board, because that 10-1 shot, place money, you're going to get your money back. Win, place, show, even if it shows, you're going to get your money back. And then if it wins, in this case, you're going to win $200 probably, or more, probably $250. So that is the first lesson learned. The second lesson learned. So I'm going to give you two wagering lessons learned, and we're going to talk about pace lessons learned for the Derby. The second lesson learned, box wagers. And I predicted a pace meltdown. I said it was a very good likelihood based on the way that this race was shaping up. If Summer is tomorrow went to the lead, that we would have a pace meltdown, and that's what happened. We had a pace meltdown, and I was trying to get all tricky with my pace meltdown ticket that I gave out on the pace thesis. I said, oh, I'm going to put Zandon on top because for a pace meltdown, he's the best closer. In second, I'm going to throw some horses like Mo Donegal. And then in third, I'm going to put Rich Strike. Well, you know what? You don't know what's going to happen in a pace meltdown. And people always make fun of box bets. They try to say to you that, oh, box bets aren't very good. You're going to lose your money in the long run. Well, if you like chaos and you think a pace meltdown is going to happen, you got to bet that chaos, and you got to have that boxed in all different combinations so that you could hit that $29,000 trifecta that occurred on Saturday. So pace meltdown, box bets. Now we're going to get into some pace lessons learned. First pace lesson learned, well, I guess international horses can set the pace after all. We had said coming into the race that the UAE Derby horses like Summers Tomorrow and Crown Pride would not be fast enough out of the gate. Well, we learned that maybe it's the new gate that they've been using for the last few years, or maybe international horses can actually get out of the gate. But they did get out of the gate. They set a fast pace. They brought everyone with them. In this picture, you can see the horses that they brought with them. Messier, Cyberknife, Zozos got all sucked into that fast pace, and they fell through the field afterwards. Actually, Zozos held on pretty good compared to some of the other horses that are up close. Taba also was up close. The pace melted down, but what was surprising about that was that international horses set that pace. So now we can't say going forward, hey, these horses coming over can't set that fast pace. They can't get out of the gate. They proved it on Saturday that they can get out of the gate. So that will no longer be something that we can use going forward. I jumped ahead quickly, but the only reason, and I'm not going to say, and as I drink I need to get, Saratoga Slim needs to get a White Claw sponsorship, but I'm drinking my White Claw here. Barat Capper very upset because, as you can see on this list, the late pace Brisnet speed ratings. Now, these are in the free past performances that come out before the Derby from Brisnet, from Twinspire, and it's called Late Pace Last Race. The Late Pace Last Race, I use it every year. I always look at it, and this year it meant more than anything because the only reason I liked Rich Strike was that he was 4th ranked in his last race. And what was interesting, his last race was a Jeff Ruby Stakes, right? Tiz the Bomb won that race. Well, Tiz the Bomb got a 105 late pace Brisnet speed figure for that race. And Rich Strike was behind him and got a higher late pace, 107. You don't usually see that in the late pace. You can just think about it. The winner's usually moving the fastest in that last late pace. And the late pace is measured by the last call to the finish line. So for the Jeff Ruby Stakes, a 107 from Rich Strike was the 4th highest in the field. I said, something is weird about this horse that he could close that fast. And something was really weird about this horse on Saturday because he closed that fast. And the late fractions, I know Somobomb went through them in the Magic Mike show, did a great job reviewing that, so I won't go through it more. But that last quarter mile was just ridiculous that the horse ran. So give props to Rich Strike. But every year, make sure you take a look at this Brisnet late pace rating. Something that I've been using every year, and this year meant so much to try to get to that horse. Probably the only way you could have got to that horse. And last but not least, what have we learned overall? Our overall lesson is this. The pace melted down. We know this. But what we may learn and what we can predict is that this will affect how the Derby will be run for a while. The last time this happened, a pace meltdown like this, you could say in 2013, there was a pace meltdown. And actually, in 2013, there was a pace meltdown. And in 2014, California Chrome was one of the slower paced derbies. I should have put that on the chart. But the one I like to go back to is 2001, Monarchos, a real pace meltdown. 44.86 was the first half mile. Very fast. 109.25. This is in the time of sprinters and multiple E8 horses in the race. The next year, though, War Emblem wired the field. 47. Look at the difference. It's over 2 seconds difference to the first half mile. The 3/4, 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds slower. And there are stories about this, that the next year after that very fast derby, all the jockeys were scared to go fast on the front end, and everyone pulled back and let War Emblem get away with the wire job. He went wire to wire. The next time we saw a wire to wire was Maximum Security 17 years later. Okay? So just be aware of this. Now that all of these jockeys have gone through this, they're shell-shocked. And we don't know what's going to happen next year. But the prediction for next year, before we see the field, or we even know who these horses are, is that these jockeys will have this in their head, and we might be seeing a slow-paced derby next year. So, for that, for all y'all that have been emailing me, tweeting at me, saying thank you for the picks, thank you, more to come. We're going to be talking about the Preakness next week. Going to get out of Saratoga soon. Hoping to get down to the Belmont Stakes. This is Saratoga Slim for Racing Dudes. If you like this video, hit like. Subscribe to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. Check out all the picks online. Love you all. Take care.